that's a good point about these spaces, because I do want to get into that. So we're into my next topic. I do often hear people, you know what I mean, complain about men having podcasts, specifically black men.
He said
And
people.
people, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I hear them complain, oh, y'all need to just go to therapy. Why do y'all have podcasts? How important do you think it is for black men to have these spaces, like a podcast or whatever the case may be?
I think it's super important for us to have spaces where we feel comfortable in expressing ourselves, right? A lot of times we don't have that space until we go to the barbershop, or we're sitting here having a conversation, no cameras, no mics, no audio being recorded.
Basketball, locker
you know what I'm saying?
room,
Exactly, locker room, that kind of stuff, right? So it's very important. What I always think about is when I was in college, right? I had a group of bros, and they had a dorm, and we would all go into their dorm room after a long, stressful day, and we would just sit in there, we would watch shows, we would play games, we freestyle, we do a bunch of random stuff. And after I left, I remember thinking to myself, like, damn, like I'm good, I'm chilling, like I feel light, you know what I'm saying? And when I finally graduated and I was living in Massachusetts by myself, I didn't have that outlet. I remember feeling super depressed. I was like, yo, why do I feel so depressed? And it's like, because, bro, what you felt like, that therapeutic outlet that you had where you could go with your bros and you guys could just vent and just talk about stuff, you don't have that anymore, right? And a lot of us don't have that within our friend groups, right? And so we go to these podcasts, we start our podcast with friends, and we start expressing, right? And we share, and our expression is very raw sometimes, right? And it's not filtered, right? And it's not coming from a lens of actually being healed or healing, right? And so when it goes out into the public, people are like, what the hell? That's what they be talking about?
Right.
It's like, yeah, this is what we talk about, right?
And
like
when other guys hear, they be like, yo, these are the conversations we've been having.
Yeah, these are the conversations we've been having, right? I think it's two parts, right? I don't want to absolve us of any accountability, right? We need to hold ourselves accountable, especially when we have platforms. We need to make sure that our language, our tone, our voice, the way that we communicate is in a way that is conducive to what we're actually trying to do in terms of our mission, morals, values, whatever the case may be, right? And we need to determine that for ourselves. So we do need to hold ourselves accountable. But on the same token, on the flip side of that, like, I think the Black community has a certain level of apprehension towards Black people just in general. Like, we're just very apprehensive towards each other, bro. You know, we don't empathize with each other, right? When we see a Black person that's making a mistake, the first thing we go to do is criticize, write a comment, say something negative, whatever the case may be. We don't even think, yo, what if they're going through something? What if there's something underneath that? Like, we don't have these thoughts at all. And I think that is one of our biggest problems, is that we don't stop to empathize, right? We don't stop to empathize. And I think before I even do any, like, because I react to a lot of stuff, I look at a lot of stuff online and I'm like, dang, I don't really know. I don't really agree with that, but I can understand where they're coming from. Even if it's something that doesn't feel right to me. Even if it's a Black woman that's like, yo, divest from Black men. Don't deal with Black men. There's no such thing as Black love. That stuff hurts me. Right. But I can understand where she's coming from. I don't go onto her comments and, yo, you crazy, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. I know where it's coming from. It's not my place to then go into that community and then say, yo, y'all are crazy, blah, blah, and invalidate them for how they feel. It's my place to hold myself accountable, to have a platform where I can now speak on those things and educate people. I always say empathize and educate. Empathize with the person, allow them to express how they feel, create that space, but then also educate when necessary. Sometimes you can't educate right in a person's platform. Sometimes it has to come outside of that. Sometimes it has to come in a conversation with them later, one-on-one. Sometimes it's just not in the comments, bro. And a lot of times, like, we think we commenting back and forth and arguing with people and, like, we're going to debate and change their mind. It's like, bro, people are already hell-bent on their idea. I make posts all the time. People come in my comments, leave a whole think piece, bro. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This person, I know this person gonna be able to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna write a paragraph back. And it's not even disrespectful. I'm coming from a space where I'm just trying to get them to understand where I'm coming from. They write a whole paragraph back. They don't even read it. It's like they didn't even read it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I wasting my time? Right? Like, I could be writing a post. I could be helping somebody get therapy. I could be talking to my moms. I could be doing all this different. Why am I going back and forth with somebody in the comments? Anytime I see people arguing in the comments, I'm just like, bro, like y'all must not have better things to do, right? Like y'all just must not have better things to do, right? And I know
sometimes they don't. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and as content creators, right? Like, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this, right? As content creators, it is our job to invoke conversation, but I think we need to invoke conversation that leads to a positive change, right? Or leads to our goal, whatever our goal is, right? So it's important for us to invoke this conversation and allow people to lead it to however they want to lead it. But we have to also understand, like, where do we want this conversation to go? How do we want people in our community talking to each other? And how do we want to push the culture forward and all that kind of stuff, bro? So I always try to, I don't want people arguing in my comments, but at the end of the day, I can't control that. I can create the content that facilitates conversation, and how y'all choose to converse is up to y'all. All right, good, bro.
I hate you talk about empathy, how you empathize with other people, even though they coming against black men or whatever. But do you think that black men get that same empathy from any other group of people?
I think we do. I think those people aren't pushed to the forefront. I think the people that we see a lot, you gotta understand what people are doing on social media, right? I'm a creator, like y'all are creators too, right? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is more than somebody else that's in the comments. People are gonna show what's gonna bring the most interaction. We do it. We do it. We know what it is, right? Like there's certain content that we put up. We like, man, I know for a fact this one they gonna be there. You know, they gonna be under this one. You know what I'm saying? We do that. You know what I'm saying? We do that. So we gotta understand that, like, yo, bro, if people know that there's certain content that they can push that's gonna generate interaction and engagement is currency in social media, that's what they gonna push. So when we say people don't empathize, people do empathize. I know, yo, bro, when I tell you I know hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I could plug y'all in of black therapists that are empathizing, that love black men, black women that are under my comments that love black men, that want black men, that want the best for black men, that empathize with black men. They got 1,000 followers. You think their comment is gonna go viral? You think they post and content is gonna go viral? You think that stuff is gonna go? Because people don't want to. If you, and I said this before, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. If you follow spiritual work, you follow the shade room, you follow Bowler Alert, and you expecting to see people empathizing with black people and that getting pushed and that being culture and that being something that generates engagement, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, bro.
But the reason I asked this is
go ahead.
I think that once this space with men expressing themselves has become a thing now, there's a lot of outrage. Yeah. But you don't see this outrage with other people expressing themselves.
Yeah, because how I think of it is, you know, this is just a genre of podcast. There's a lot of different genres, right?
Yeah.
And there's black men in several different spaces, whether it's finances or in your leisure, whether it's technology with Marquez Brownlee, whether it's sports, Stephen A. Smith. There's black men in a variety of different genres of content out there. But somehow people seem to get focused on one genre of you know, content creation. Like there isn't other black men out there making positive content. Like, but like you said, the positive content or the content about something. Stephen A. Smith talk about sports every day. Is people under his comments like, oh, all you do is talk about sport? Like that's what he does. Like you get what I'm saying? So I find it disingenuous for people to try to limit black men's spaces, especially when they have podcasts. And I understand, you know, there is a certain level of accountability. Obviously, we can't just be on here saying outrageously crazy, disrespectful things, like some of the divestment movements, things of that nature. But you know, there's a reason why a lot of black men are resonating to this space is because they can see themselves within the content creator or just the conversation and things of that nature. So
here's what I'll say on that, right? Like, we got to understand that the world isn't just how we see it, right? Like, we're in the black community, so all we see is black stuff, right? We're not in the white community, we're not in the Hispanic community, whatever the case may be, right? I pay very close attention to people's comments, just because as a creator, it's just interesting to me, and I like to not feel alone in what I deal with. And sometimes I get comments, I'm just like, yo, these people, wow, like these people crazy. Like this not even where I'm going. Where'd you get this from, bro? Like where did this come from, right? You know what I'm saying? So I go into Stephen A's comments and I read it sometimes, and people under there just doing the same stuff that they do. Right. I go on the Rashad and Troy's comments, Earn Your Leisure, and I look at, and people just saying the same stuff. 19 Keys, all the different black creators, thought leaders, black men, whatever the case may be, white man, whoever, anytime you're in a public light, right? You have more than a certain number of followers, people are going to leave their opinions on social media. I had to get to the point where I was just like, you know what? It don't matter how I do it, what I do, somebody gonna have some kind of problem with it, regardless. I could say, yo, man, we need to love our black woman, man, because that's how we're gonna make a better black family, and that's how we're gonna make a better black community. You know what somebody gonna say? Nah, because this black woman cheated on me, and I can't believe you would say that. This is supposed to be a page for black men. You crazy.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is he wrong? Is he wrong for saying that's his experience? So I have to get to a point where it's like, all right, cool, that's all right, but that's not me. That's not my perspective. So I'm just gonna let him do what he needs to do, vent and get it out, and I'm gonna keep making my content and do what I need to do, because I can't get caught up in how somebody feels about what I'm creating if I know that my intention was positivity.